Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, October 27th. We're looking at window traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So once again, the bulls decimate the bears, or anybody who's been attempting to short this market, as we have all-time highs in the Dow, the ES, and the NQ. Righty actually gapped higher, filled the gap right away, and the value play came into play in C period and D, and they got value low. But they end up unchanged value. They held their gap from Friday. They took back today's gap, and they end with an 11 wide POC. They got a little bit into that excess, but it's still there. But like I said in this morning's video, because the all-time high is in the overnight, this all-time high excess from the 15th does not put, I don't hold as much weight on it. I don't believe it will hold. NQ goes out with a large weekly gap, an afternoon pullback, a small set of singles, and a price probe. ES goes out, large gap, afternoon pullback, a one-tick set of singles, and a nice price probe as they hit all-time highs. You know, I told in the room, it's a saying I've seen. Sometimes big things have little beginnings. Well, we had a one tick of single prints in ES and SPY. NQ was only a couple of ticks, and look what we did the way we probed. Okay, volume in SPY was pretty poor. ES is triple Qs is now 5 million over average, so not bad. SPY's at 57 million, still 13 million under average. IWM also under average by about 4 million. I had a good day. Certainly didn't take advantage of that afternoon. I shut down my personal after C period. I had very good A period. I got long to get the overnight high. I was long in B to get A's high and the ebb and flow trade. Somehow, some way, C period, I screwed up. I don't know how. I had an offer in there. Next thing I knew, I was losing 300 on the trade. And by the time I took it off, I ended up screwing up, missing the IB high. So I still had a decent morning because I did well on A and B, but that really ticked me off. I don't know. Must have had an offer in from an early ebb and flow long that I did not take out. So not only did it cost me being short, which I never would have shorted today, but I missed the IB high because that's when I was trying to get the short off. After that, took one trade. I should have held on to it in I period. At the time, I didn't think H's pullback was deep enough where the POC was. But then in I said, you know what, I'm going to take a long against H's low. Held it for small. Should have held it because would have crushed it, right? Because we never got anywhere near H or I's lows again. So we saw the market well. This, again, all time frames are up. This market, I'm going to show you now on the charts how people, look, we have a lot coming out this week. You have major earnings with the big tech stocks tomorrow night and Thursday night. You have the Fed Wednesday. You might have PCE on Friday. So there is a lot. But this is right now a very strong market. Is it an emotional trading? Of course it is. Look at this. I mean, look at the gaps, right? Look at the gaps we have. Gap, weekly gap. Remember the last weekly gap? Well, not the last one. We had another one after that. But we have a weekly gap holding for May. 5 months. This is a pretty big one today. So don't disrespect this bull. And then you look at the chart. Look at this. We talk about getting away from other time frames. Other highs on different times. Look at us now, right? We're $18 above last month's high. Is that a trend that's slowing? Not my book, right? Remember we had an indecisive candle last week at one point? Well, with 4 days to go, it's not too indecisive anymore, is it? Right? Look at the weekly. Gap higher after an inside week up last week. And the daily, same thing, 2 gaps. Now, again, the volume's not good. And we know it's emotional trading. But look, no long-term money managers are going to sell this market. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. We talk about it in the room. Nobody's going to take a chance to say, well, we're up 40% from April's lows. I'm going to sell some here. Because if he does, and we go up another 10% by the end of the year, he'll get chastised by his clients. But when they're all down 40%, nobody can say anything. That's how it works. So I'm not really expecting any long-term money to come out of the woodwork on their own and sell it. Can they all come out and sell it? Right now, the charts certainly aren't suggesting that, but we'll see if we get any volatility as the week goes on. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Hope you had a good day trading. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.